Not everybody has a home, but most of us have an auto, and everybody has to buy auto insurance. And I think we should at least understand basic coverage and some of the problems with auto insurance. Kelly's going to give us some basic information on that.
Right. In the state of Florida, what is required of you at the time of the accident is that you have what we call 10-20-10. And what that means is $10,000 worth of bodily injury liability insurance. The 20 is $20,000 is the maximum per accident bodily injury limit. And the final $10,000 is a $10,000 property damage requirement. And basically, what people need to know about this is that if you have the minimum limits in the state of Florida, then that means that if you cause an accident where people are injured, the most your insurance is going to pay for any one person's injury is $10,000. Now, $10,000 is a lot of money. I'm never going to scoff at $10,000, but when you're talking about bodily injury, you can go through $10,000 pretty quickly. It doesn't take more than one hospital visit.
How long is that in an air ambulance?
And one ambulance ride and one treatment can easily eclipse $10,000 for a single person. If there's more than one person injured in the same accident, the maximum you're going to get for that accident that you're responsible for is $20,000. So think about it if it's a serious accident. It's a horrible thing to think about. But $10,000 for one person and $20,000 total is not a very significant amount of insurance.
Actually, statistically, 1 out of 2 of us will get injured in an automobile accident.
1 out of 2 will be injured in an automobile accident. And then finally, the third component is the $10,000 property damage requirement, which was made law in the state of Florida in the early 1980s. And the reason that that's important is because in the early 1980s, $10,000 could fix a pretty nice car. Yeah. $10,000 could buy a pretty nice car. If you've suffered any damage to your vehicle within the last couple of years, you probably know it doesn't take much to do thousands of dollars worth of damage to your vehicle. So a $10,000 physical damage requirement is something that you need to pay very close attention to when you're trying to make sure that you have enough automobile insurance to cover your liability in an accident.
And you have to consider whether you have your teenagers out there driving.
Absolutely.
If older people driving now, that the reflexes aren't as good as they used to be. The other part too, if you start thinking about property damage, it's not always necessarily the vehicle you damage. Sometimes there's some collateral damage. Example I saw one time was a guy ran a dump truck off the ground, the dump truck ran into the dirt, and it had a fuel spill. And they had to dig up that fuel spill and haul it away for pollution cleanup. The fuel spill itself was $6,000.
Right.
So that that could add in there. So you do want to really consider how much coverage you do buy.
Absolutely, and it's unfortunate, but over 40% of drivers in the state of Florida are driving with either no insurance or with the absolute minimum required by law. And as we've just discussed, even the minimum amount it can be insignificant if you have any form of bodily injury or property damage resulting from the accident.
Again, give your agent a call, review your policy, and if you'd like a second opinion, give us a call at the Insurance Center of Central Florida. Our number is below.